All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I have a little bit of an interesting show for you, I believe. Um, First, we are going to talk about voting and not just your usual, oh, yeah, you should get out and vote, but a number of things related to it. First of all, there's an upcoming primary, right? Now, some people don't know the difference. It's nothing against them. They don't really teach much about this in our schools. They teach civics some, but I think we need a little more in-depth education on certain aspects. So let's start with primary voting, right? And why is primary voting so important? So first of all, in Indiana, and I can only speak for Indiana because that's where I live, primary voting, we have what's called an open primary, which means you can pull a ballot from, you can get a Republican ballot, you can get a Democrat ballot. You can only pick one, but doesn't matter if you voted Democrat your entire life. If you suddenly want a Republican ballot, you can get it. Doesn't matter if you voted Republican your whole life. If you want a Democrat ballot, you can get it. Some states are different. Now, the part that some people may not understand is the question is, if I pull, for example, a Republican ballot, can I still vote for Democrats in the general? And the answer is yes. Yes. In the general, you can vote for whomever you want. And two things that I think are important for people to understand. Number one, nobody knows who you voted for as far as publicly. They will know that you pulled a Republican ballot because that shows up, but they don't know who on that ballot you voted for. During the general, they don't know who you voted for. By they, I mean the ability to put it out there to the public. You can indeed pull a ballot in the primary and vote for someone completely different in the general election. That is perfectly fine. I want to drop a little information in here for current and potential candidates. First of all, learn your district, whatever area you're running for. Like look, it might be difficult, but it is incredibly important. Go around the borders of your district. Learn exactly where the borders are and where they end. When I ran for Congress, I learned exactly where the borders ended, and I drove the entire length of it so that I had a fundamental understanding of what the district I was running for was, where it ended, who the people were affected. Also, if you are a candidate, every time you leave your house, you need to be photo ready. Don't run up to Walmart in raggedy shirt and I'm just as guilty of this. When I was a candidate, there were times when I just had to run up to the store and I looked like crap, especially when I was working on the other house we lived in. Yeah. Okay. So now that that's out of the way, let's get to the interesting stuff. As you guys know, well, some of you may or may not, there is a rumor being spread that one of the candidates in the LaPorte County commissioner race didn't pay his taxes. That there was an outstanding tax bill, and there are multiple different versions of what happened. First of all, this tax bill is from a business, a corporation that no longer exists. Was it paid? Did he not? Did he owe money on it and not pay? I don't give a flying fuck at all. I don't care whether he had outstanding taxes or not. As far as I'm concerned, screw the government. The government failed, and we let it happen. It's been infiltrated by criminals and pedophiles, and now our taxes fund their debauchery. The reality is our money isn't exactly being used for the best stuff. From fraud to finagling, from bombs to big bonuses for friends and family. If you think your tax dollars are going to the right things, then by all means, vote for the incumbent for whatever office. And I'm referring to almost all of them, from Grandma Rosa to Trump. Honest question here. Do you trust these people? Do you believe that they're doing the right thing? It's that simple. Are you pleased with your current representative, council member, commissioner, whomever? If you are, if you're seriously pleased with their performance, then vote for the incumbent. If not, it might be time for a change. The same thing goes for state rep. Almost every position on the ballot, vote for someone who you believe represents you. Now, in that vein, I'm running for delegate for the state party convention. Why? Because the current Secretary of State office holder is not representing my interests. He seems to be representing his own. His brother-in-law is in a created, high-paying job, name plastered all over voting information, his name in 100-point font, the office in 20-point font. It's ridiculous, and I heartily disagree with that. I fully intend, if elected, to vote for David Shelton, not because I believe he's perfect. No one except Jesus Christ is perfect. I'm certainly not. I mean, I could sit here and talk all day about my flaws and what they are, but I'm absolutely certain there are people out there willing to do that for me. Now, making the circle back to Jody Slaybaugh, who people are saying he didn't pay his taxes. I know the man's not perfect. I never for 1 second thought that he was perfect, but I do believe he's a better choice for that office. I don't think he would make county employees dread coming to work and be terrified they'll be fired if they don't kiss the ring, or somehow end up crossing some arbitrary imaginary line that someone dreamed up. I don't think that he would shuffle no-bid contracts to his donors. I don't think he'd scream red-faced at elected officials and ask the attorney if we can somehow fire them. There are indeed some other rumors going around that the Republicans are out to get X individual. There are nasty memes and other salacious things being peddled. First of all, I am not a Republican office holder. I am just a dude and a candidate that didn't quite get enough votes for the office that I happen to run for. I can't and I don't try to speak for all Republicans. What I can tell you is that the party, as in the LaPorte County Republican Party, is not out to get anyone. They also don't decide who can run for certain positions. They don't handpick people. As a former candidate for office, I am very familiar with the process. If you meet the requirements, you can run. If you don't, or if there are issues that are brought up, such as Richard Grammarocha's residency, then they will bring these concerns to the election board. And they will say, can this guy run? We want to challenge it. In that case, in that particular case, the election board said, well, that's not proof that he doesn't reside there, right? Cool. That's it. It's done. I can't vote for that particular office anyway. If the voters want him, go for it. If not, then vote for someone else. There are some people out there that will say whatever they want with no thought to facts or the truth. I try to make sure I give accurate information. And if I'm wrong, I admit it. Here's the thing, guys. The facts are the facts. There is no my truth. There's just the truth, period. Truth is what it is. It stands on its own merit. So, what are the important points you should know before going into the voting booth? First and foremost, vote for the person you believe will represent your best vision of government. Well, what do I mean by that? We have a flawed system. It's better than everything else out there, but it is not perfect. We live in a type of representative republic. That means we vote for people who take on the job of governing, whether that is the local level with your mayor that runs the town and the town or city council balancing their power, At county level, the commissioners acting as the president of the county, the council is the Congress, stuff like that. The point is, we do not live in a direct democracy. And there are times that I am supremely glad of that. Have you seen the decisions some of these people make? Yikes. Now I want you to do something. I want you to think of the dumbest and most ridiculous thing that you have seen on the internet lately. And just remember that these people breed and they vote. Ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, voting is important. Voting for the right person is arguably far more so. If you've watched any of the LaPorte County Commissioner meetings and seen Commissioner Grammarosa's actions and statements and gone, hell yes, that person represents me, then by all means, vote for her. If you have watched meetings in horror, astonished at how someone like this ever got elected in the first place, well, I think it's because the county wasn't thrilled with Sheila, and this one happened to have a little more name recognition. Maybe. It's another reason primary voting is critically important. Then vote Jody. Either way, please vote. One thing I do find funny is that Commissioner Grammarosa finds the "Say No to Connie" signs so offensive when she was absolutely on board, by the way, with the "Dump Sheila, Fire Friedman" signs. I'll bet Sheila is laughing her ass off. I know I would. As an aside, do you notice how none of these people stay unemployed? Winsky lost the election, but somehow has a county job. Sheila lost the election, but landed just fine in Michigan City. Just saying, it's a big network, and we are not in it. It is high time to shut down the web, like internet of lies. In their world, it's sink or swim, and they force us to wear concrete shoes. Of course, they have yachts, private islands, and 1,000 private jets. Hard to sink when you don't touch the water. Ladies and gentlemen, and I've made some inferences. I'm not saying that any of the people locally necessarily are elites, right? But the reality is that there are people that are not good that are running this country, and it is time to take it back. Now, I don't want anyone hurt. There are people that I know that believe the time for voting is over, that it's time to move on to something a little more visceral. I'm not of that ilk. I'd like to say it's possible to claw it back. I'd like to say we can do this. But I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, primary voting is where it's going to happen. There have to be major changes. There have to be incremental building in order to flush these people out of positions of power. And by these people, I'm just referring to people that do not align with your values. There are people elected that do not align with my values. And so I'm going to vote for the best option on the ballot that isn't them. And often that is found in the primary. Now, incredible song. I highly recommend it. It's called Chris Webby Raw Thoughts 7, VII. So by all means, guys, check it out. I just had to share it with you. For those of you guys, again, who follow me on various social media platforms, you will have seen the share. For those of you who don't, maybe this is your first time hearing Chris. He has a number of other really good songs, but I am disenfranchised with today's music. It's all the same shit regurgitated over and over and over. This guy makes you think, at least, if nothing else. You may not agree with everything he says. You may think some of it is horse shit. Some of it is tinfoil hat stuff. Some of it may be just out there. But there are so many kernels of truth buried. Give it a listen. Take your time. digest it. For those of you who are maybe on the other side of that, who are like, oh my God, he actually said that out loud. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And it's still up on YouTube. So maybe, just maybe, there's hope for us yet. Guys, I know that recently it seems like there's a lot that's concerning, right? That is just mind-blowing even. It's hard to believe that there are people with as much power as they have that are choosing to do the things that they're doing. And it's unfortunate, but it's up to us. We regardless of if you think there's a big plan or no plan, the key lies with you and me. We control our local governments. At least we should. We can. If we start at the ground level, we need delegates, people who are going to go out there and vote for the best candidate, not for who we're told to vote for, not for who is the most popular or has the most name recognition, but the actual best candidate. Not just delegates. I'm not just talking about Secretary of State. And hey, maybe you guys love Diego. Maybe you think he's doing a phenomenal job. If that's the case, then by all means, vote for someone who's going to vote for Diego. I don't. I think he's an embarrassment. I think, here's the thing, guys, and I'm going to say this again. I've said it in previous videos, but I'm going to say it again here for posterity's sake. It isn't even that he gave his brother-in-law a job. It isn't even that he created a job for his brother-in-law. But if you look up the hearing, I covered it on the show here. If you look up the hearing where he was called in front of the finance committee to say, hey, here's why all this stuff is the way it is, his answer was to deflect. He didn't give an answer at all. He didn't say, look, I did this because I think this is a gap that we had in the system. And I think that, you know, my brother-in-law happens to be very, very skilled at this particular thing. None of that. He gave no reasons. Excuse me. He didn't explain any of it. He just said, my people are the best. My people are the best. That's it. Okay. That tells me nothing. But besides that, there's the whole huge name on stuff that shouldn't be there. Look up the David Shelton interview. He gets into it a lot more. And again, it's not that I believe that David Shelton is perfect. He's not. He's a man. He's flawed. We all are. We're all imperfect. We all screw up. We all make mistakes. Same with Jody. I don't know if he owes taxes. People say he does, but then the evidence that they're using, that website specifically says errors are present. This shouldn't be used as a source. I don't know. He's claiming that the taxes are paid. Other places are claiming that they're not. I don't know. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I didn't pay taxes. Well, that sounds good to me, actually. I'd love to not pay taxes personally. I think it would be great. But again, just me. I am less worried about someone not paying taxes than I am someone retaliatory firing, potentially bugging offices, screaming, yelling. There's a lot more. By all means, guys, watch the meetings. There is a reason why I'm not doing very many of the meeting things anymore. They tend to make my veins pop out. But I will try it. If you guys are interested, let me know if you want me to continue doing meeting breakdowns. If you want me to show my take on these situations, drop a comment or send me a direct message. I'm on Facebook. I'm on X. I'm on all these, various platforms. I'm easy to reach. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful evening. I'll talk to you again real soon. Please vote. God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America. I hope you have a wonderful evening. We'll see you again real soon. Good night.
Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's